I keep talking to business owners who are waiting, waiting for the right time, waiting for that one ad that they put out, waiting for the news cycle to change, waiting for social media to do something else, the algorithm to change, waiting for more money to come in, waiting for that magical unicorn client that everybody wants, right? So, growing up Italian, I always heard a watch pot never boils. It really doesn't. You stare and you wait, and the water just takes forever, and you're waiting to make your pasta. And well, the other problem that happens is a pot with no flame underneath, that definitely won't. So, waiting is often hesitation, and hesitation means you're not even on the playing field. Now, there's good waiting, there's being patient. That's great. Discernment, not reacting to things, not saying yes to something out of obligation or something that may be wrong for you. There's waiting on someone special to come home from a trip. Those are really good things to wait for. Well, then there's hesitation where you're waiting, like waiting to be ready when you're an operating business, waiting for that confidence to maybe make that video that you talked about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe it's been a long time. You've been talking about some of these things. Waiting for perfect timing. What the hell is perfect timing? I don't think there's a perfect time for anything. Now, there are things that do need time, a good plan. You need time to make a good plan and think it through. But then you need to see it through. And the hesitation that comes in when it's time to actually see that through, well, that's more of that hesitation. Marketing needs motion. The businesses that struggle are the ones that are often still hesitating. So while you wait for that moment, someone else is building the momentum. Someone else is becoming very visible, very familiar, searchable, trusted, and the one that people will call when they need that service, that product, that company. I live in Las Vegas. There's a lot of marketing in Las Vegas. I would say that an example that comes to mind is this gutter company. It comes up all the time. It's always there on the little side for sponsored ads. They show up online all over the place. Even if I'm looking for something else for my house, I've not looked for a gutter company service, but they are showing up all the time. And they have their marketing on point because they're showing up everywhere. So other people that most likely are looking are finding them. And if I ever need a gutter company, well, I'll probably call them up because that's who I see all the time. Are you showing up like that? A lot of businesses that I talk to, they think, I have my website. My website's great. Okay, a website is great. A good, one that has traffic going to it, one that is well informed, one that actually will be picked up by AI because AI understands what's on the website and how it can answer maybe a customer search. And then they'll recommend your website. However, if your website does not, if it does not have clarity, if it does not offer the answers that AI can find and scrape and suggest you, they're going to suggest your competitor. So visibility today is changing. Marketing is changing again. Some of the age old things of marketing have not changed. There's a certain number of touch points that you need before somebody actually will call you. Now, I may not be talking about a plumbing company when somebody in the middle of the night had maybe a pipe burst. They're going to go and quickly either ask ChatGPT or Alexa or go on their phone, and whoever comes up that's available and answers the phone. Well, there you go. Are you showing up when that customer, that lead, that potential client is actually searching for what you have to offer? I recently I recently had a proposal with someone, and I have worked in this industry for many years. I've created content from scratch. I've created remix content. So I was going to work with this client and take what they already had. It's in real estate, and I was going to create more so that he can build his visibility because I was seeing a lot of visibility holes, let's say, that he was leaking potential. There were so many missed opportunities that his name could have appeared and should have appeared, especially in his local markets. Well, he hesitated. He hesitated on cost, maybe. He hesitated on thinking that his years of expertise and experience are just enough, that he gets a lot of referrals. That's all well and good. That's great. I think a business that's been around for a long time, you definitely have an edge. And having referrals, obviously, you're doing something right. However, there's still that other side of business that many people go online first. They want to see, what's your web presence look like? Are you visible or are you invisible? If you only have a website and maybe your photo is from like, I don't know, 2015, there's a lot of people that still do that. Update your stuff. Get your stuff like in the current market right now. Especially a lot of business owners that have been in business for a couple of decades. Marketing is part of it. If you're not marketing yourself and marketing your company, how are people going to know who you are outside of referrals? That's one avenue. There's more avenues though when it comes to showing up and showing up online. And online is where most people go. So, meanwhile, competitors in your business or industry, they're going to keep posting. Lots of businesses are starting to actually catch on. Lots of businesses are seeing that a visibility audit is an absolute great tool to have. It's a great way to see where your customers are looking and are you showing up where they're looking. That's one avenue of it. It's also a way to see, at least with my visibility audit that you could check out in the link below. It's complimentary. They're going to see that maybe AI is not even suggesting you. Maybe there's cleanup that you need to have. Maybe you need to optimize some of your channels. Maybe you are still that one waiting, hesitating, not making videos, not posting, not not taking advantage of the free, free marketing that you could do. Organic social media is still free. Okay, maybe you're not the editing expert. Maybe you're not great with a camera. Maybe you don't want to be on camera. There are other ways to do things. There's other strategies that you could do to still show up and show off your business, show off how great your service is, show off how wonderful that product is, that there could be people that really need that product, that service that you do, but your competitor is going to get the phone call. And maybe they don't even make something as great. Are you losing out to your competitors? Maybe you do need a visibility audit. Lots of people still don't even know or understand what a visibility audit is. There are still businesses that are operating today that don't check out their visibility. They don't look at the gaps of potential business that are falling through the cracks. That is definitely something that you can explore, and it's complimentary. I built a complimentary visibility audit tool. All you have to do is hit the link in the description. You put in your business name, your city, and the category of business that you're in. And it'll give you a score. It's going to tell you where you are leaking potential. Many businesses are not even looking at the visibility that they have online. The ones that are actually staying ahead, now they definitely do. And they check that out on a regular basis. And they make sure that they show up in all the places that they need to. There's a lot of other business owners that I talk to that still think their website is visible enough. Or some don't even have a website, some just have a Facebook page. And some are still doing great business. But then there's something called a pipeline that if you are not filling your pipeline with people, well, you can have all these customers here. And then by the time you finish serving or providing whatever that customer needed, and then they're done, if you don't have anybody else ready to move into that position, well, then what happens? Then some business owners start to scramble. Some start putting more money into maybe Google ads or Facebook ads. And then some sit there and wonder, what the heck? Why is that not working? Well, marketing keeps evolving and changing. But there's one thing that's true: organic marketing still is available. Organic social media is still not a high cost. When you're paying for paid ads, you're going to have a management fee on that. You're going to need to make sure that your ads are working right, they're showing up in the right places. There's a lot of science behind it. It's not just as easy as, plug it in and pay the fee. Yeah, I mean, some do that. I've had businesses call me up and then they're saying, I just keep spending more and more every month. And they were. And you know what? Whoever set the ads up, well, that was like, your ad is going out of state when you offer your service in this state. So that is not going to help you. So you have to make sure. There's a lot of things that you have to make sure of. Automation. Automation is great. A lot of people like to automate things now. Automation is great for some things, but automation does not replace strategy. There's automation right now happening where businesses are getting custom built tools that will continue to create content and put out static images and show up online. Now, there's a very useful avenue for a lot of those, and I'm not knocking that at all. But there's also a useful avenue for you to show up in other ways. So some of these custom builds are great for keeping a blog alive. You may have a service that there's a lot of, you may have a service that there's a lot of information that people would want to read up on, do their homework about, and learn more about what you have to offer. So that was great. That will definitely fill the void and answer those questions and help out on Google search. But every platform is different. So just because you automate something like that, that is not going to be custom strategy that is going to work for you. So then you run into the risk of sounding just like everybody else. And there is a lot of that happening. And then if you remember from another topic I discussed, there are people that even automate their customer relations. There's people that automate the customer feedback. And if you are looking at some of the reviews in a business, maybe you've seen that too. Maybe you've seen that generic response. We've talked about the angry business owner that wants to brawl with somebody that left a not so nice review. But then there's also the reviews that sound the same. They sound very chatbot, you know, just like the other one. Thank you for visiting our business. Thank you for taking the time to write this message. We are so whatever. They sound just like everybody else. They are very chatbot like. It's very scripted. You can tell. I'm sure you've read it. I'm sure you've seen those ones. So don't fall into that automation trap. Automation is good. Automation is good for certain things. Automation and relying on your only marketing tool is not, because it's going to be generic content that makes you sound just like everybody else. And then how do you stand out in the crowd? That's like hesitation just disguised as action. So don't do that. So now let's go back again to that pot of boiling water. Marketing is the heat under the pot. Marketing is what's going to get that rolling boil, that bubbling action. So without that heat, you're not going to have it. You're not going to have your pasta either. Now, there's businesses that don't operate consistently and think that they could just kind of flip the marketing switch on. Oh, I'll run an ad now and then I'll turn it off and then I'm good. Maybe that works for them. There's odd things that happen all the time. So in today's marketing, visibility, it compounds. Trust compounds and familiarity compounds. Most businesses don't measure their visibility. They don't know what the market actually sees. Most businesses that do have measurements, they're measuring their KPIs, they're measuring things that already happened. Measuring your visibility is measuring present and what is going on now. So if you want to check that out, head to the link in the description. That's why I built the Amelia Media Business Audit. So go to amaudit.co and see for yourself. So yes, there are some things worth waiting for. We've gone through that. Wait before you react. Wait before you say yes to something that could be the wrong thing. Wait for that special someone. But don't wait to be visible. Because in marketing, waiting is not neutral. Waiting has a cost. And if you want the water to boil, you can't just stand there staring at the pot. You have to turn on the flame.
Looking to grow and stand out online. You found the agency that's truly divine. From reels to podcast strategy to flair, Amelia Media takes you there. We create, we coach, we craft with care. Content that clicks with vision to spare. More than a brand is where you shine. Your voice, your vibe, perfectly aligned. Amelia Media, home of the creative agency and studio. Find your vision, make your mark. Brighten your path, ignite the spark. She's got the vision, she's got the tools. Amelia Media, creating the new you.